All right, guys. On this live chat, I'm gonna give it all to you in depth. On what really happened in the courtroom. I have my book here. I have notes. I took a lot of notes, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what went down in the courtroom today. What to expect tomorrow. I believe Cassie is supposed to be testifying tomorrow, so I will be here live and early tomorrow. Before I continue, let me fix this real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And I'm going to give it all to you. Let's see. Oops, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just fixing something real quick. So we're going to get into some things that I noticed. I went, it's a lot of people that I ran into and I didn't realize it was them. All right. Let me let you know I'm live. I'm live in, oh, hold on. Oops, allow camera. First of all, hold on 1 second. Yeah, y'all hear me? Okay. All right. I'm going to give it to you guys right now. A lot of stuff that was said about him in the media, I don't know, man. Mark Garagos, somebody that was affiliated with Mark Garagos was sitting in back of me in the courtroom. Cassie's husband was sitting right in back of me in the courtroom because when I was sitting in the courtroom, like when you guys know when I went live earlier, I'm gonna give it all to you, man. I got a lot of notes. I'm gonna give it all to you. I just dropped off my homegirl real quick. She probably listening. What up? Um, okay, first of all, I thought I wasn't gonna get in because remember I got there late. As a matter of fact, I thought I wasn't gonna get in. That's first of all because you guys know I got there mad late. I was in New Jersey traffic this morning, and when I walked to the courtroom, it was already packed. I mean, I thought it was already packed, but no, the line was inside the courthouse, and then the guards told me just to walk in. So when I looked at the line, I said, "Oh, I'm getting in," because they said they got mad overflow rooms. So I was in the overflow room. Listen, yo, just a side note. I was in the overflow room with Lisa Bloom, her mother Gloria Allred, Cassie's husband. Who else? Cassie's husband. Tisa Tells. Y'all know Tisa Tells. Tisa Tells from YouTube. Armand Wiggins from YouTube. Um, There was another YouTuber in front of me. I just didn't know who it was. Everybody was dapping them up. I didn't know who. I don't know. Like you gotta be in the know to know. But there was. We were all in the overflow room. There was some people from TMZ. They were in the overflow room. They were in the overflow room, and they couldn't even get into the main trial. I saw Tenny Garagos. I saw Tenny Garagos. Um, I gotta stay focused. I saw I gotta say, let me stay focused. I saw Tenny Garagos walking out. She was just walking out by herself. When I saw Diddy's son. I didn't see it, so I saw one of his daughters. And I saw Christian. I saw him in the lobby because after the break, they break for lunch and Christian was in the lobby. And I only saw Christian. I know everybody was there, but I only saw Christian. I'm not even lying to you. and I saw one of his sisters. I don't know which one. They look just alike. They identical twins. I don't know which twin I saw, but I saw one of the twins, and I saw Christian. Now, people said I walked right past him and didn't know it. I probably did. There was somebody from their entourage that was sitting next to me that he couldn't get into the main court. I don't know. Somebody told me that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. But I was sitting right in back of Lisa Bloom. That was kind of cool. Lisa Bloom and all that, and her mother was sitting in front of her. Some reps from TMZ was sitting near me. I was chatting it up with them, chopping it up with them. But I'm about to give you everything. Everything ain't what it said. Everything is what. Listen, everything that they have been saying about him with these freak offs is I don't know if it's true, man. I don't know because I heard, you know, saying from a lady that was sitting back at me in the courtroom. She's with Mark Garagos that Cassie didn't even want to. She didn't even want to testify, and she still don't. Okay, so let me just say that real quick. So, but maybe she had to change her heart. I don't know. But that's what I heard people in the street talking about. And I will be doing an interview tomorrow with some news. I don't know. It's a news station. I don't know who it is. And I made a mistake and photobombed somebody this morning. Didn't even know it. I bumped into them while they were live. One of the news people. Everybody was laughing, though. They thought it was funny. Because, you know, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It was hilarious. She was like, no, you're fine. You're fine. And all right, so let's get into it. The alleged victims. Cassie. It's this girl named, they call her Jane. There's Cassie. There's Jane. There's Mia. There's Cassie, Jane, Mia, and I believe that's it. And maybe somebody, the girl that said she got dangled. So that's 4. I know one of them. They said before it was like 5 victims. They only named 4 that I could hear. Cassie, Mia. Mia was his like assistant, and he's being accused of doing some things. Yeah, if they could prove that, that ain't gonna look good. But they saying that Mia is motivated by money. That's what Tenny Garagos said. Oh, by the way, Tenny Garagos, she did the opening statements for Diddy. That's Mark Garagos' daughter. She did a really good job. Tenny Garagos did a really good job. But the prosecutor, Comey, James Comey's daughter, oh man, she did an excellent job in her presentation. But we're gonna see. Brian Steele, he wasted no time in letting everybody know that he wanted the best out. He wasted no time at all. So we're gonna get into that. So we're gonna get into that as well. Brian Steele, he wasted no time. And he that looked like somebody that was from the courthouse, because I'm not too far from the courthouse. So I'm still seeing some people lingering, like walk around getting stuff to eat and stuff. I don't know if I want to eat in there though. Nah, I'm gonna wait till I get back to Jersey. I don't want to eat in there. I see people going in there, but hold on a second. Hold on one. Okay, all right, cool. So, like I said, Tenny Garagos gave opening statement. She was pretty much saying that this is his life. He didn't do anything wrong, and they're trying to make it. They're trying to turn his sexual life criminal. But she did say that the video that you're gonna see, that hotel video, which I saw the extended version. There's an extended version. I saw the whole thing. The extended version of the hotel video, she said it's domestic violence, and she said we're not getting him off the hook for that. She said he owns up to that. That's domestic violence. He's guilty of that, but he's not guilty of sex trafficking. He's not guilty of sex trafficking, but he's guilty of domestic violence. Um, Puff was noticeably gray, like as people are saying. He stood out too because I was in the overflow room watching the monitor and I couldn't really see until he stood up. Once he stood up, um, you could see him. He stands out. But one thing I want to note about Puff, they saying he looking mad. Oh no, he looks the same. He looks the same. It's just his hair is gray. But he looks the same. And he quickly stood up. He had no problem standing up. He was good. But yes, he is noticeably gray. And it really, really, really stands out. That white hair stands out. It does. It looked like it was glowing in court. And a lot of people in the gallery, they said they felt sorry for him. A lot of people said they felt sorry for him when he stood up. A side note, like I said, I was on the elevator with Lisa Bloom and them. Tisa tells I was on the elevator with her. I actually let her go in before me. She's tall, by the way. I saw Armand Wiggins, a lot of other people. And in the opening statements, Tenny Garrigo said, "This is Sean Combs." But there was another side to him. No, I'm sorry. Comey said that. Comey said that. Not Tenny Garrigo's Comey. She said, "This is Sean Combs," but there was another side to him. She said over 20 years of crimes. And she said she accused him of kidnapping. He's been accused of kidnapping, arson, drugs, sex crime, everything. And she said he forced her to have sex with escorts. What else? Let me let him go by. Hold on one second. They said he forced her to be with escorts, but the sex crimes is they claim that he was paying sex workers to be with her, but it was against her will. Yeah, so that's what they're saying there. That was in the opening. And then he said that when she got with some other guy, he got mad about it. And he went to her and said that he's going to release videos of their freak offs. But somebody told me in the courtroom today that saw the videos, they said the videos ain't even all that. It ain't even all what we thought it was going to be. So we'll see. They said that he made his money. Hold on, let me see. Is this still recording? Hold on. All right, y'all still hear me. They said he made his money through, they said he made his money through his business ventures, and he took that money and for the purposes of his sex crimes and stuff. That's what they're saying. And he used his inner circle and various bodyguards over the course of 20 years. So I'm assuming a lot of his bodyguards are going to testify. We just don't know which bodyguards yet that's going to testify. But trust me, it's going to be a lot of surprises. I think. I don't know. I think. But if I had to deliberate today, he'll be home. If I had to deliberate today, because it wasn't. They ain't go home with it yet. Now, don't get me wrong. I heard Cassie is supposed to testify tomorrow, so it's going to be another madhouse out here today. It was a madhouse out here today. I didn't even get a chance to go in the cafeteria. I'm gonna bring my food with me tomorrow because it was such a madhouse in here that it's gonna be even worse tomorrow because it's gonna be even worse tomorrow because Cassie's supposed to be testifying, and that's the word on the street. She testifying tomorrow. They said, what did he do? He built his empire. He made money to do his crimes, and his employees helped. And he called it his inner circle. He used his company resources to exploit women. His inner circle helped him do various acts. Dude, somebody up top want him away, yo. I'm just telling y'all that. She said he dangled a woman over a balcony. She mentioned the arson, forced employees to take drugs and also deliver them, pay women to cross state lines. She said, let me be clear. It's not about his sexual preferences. She said it was criminal. She said it's not about these are his sexual preferences and it's about his sexual life. She said it was criminal. That's what Comey said. She said he called his freak offs various things. He called them hotel nights, um, king nights, freak offs. And he said the staff organized and was paid by his company. So he made all this money for the purposes of freak offs. That's what they're saying. And his king nights. But they're trying to say that it was against her will. I gotta get into the guy that testified just now. He got real graphic, yo. It was the sex worker, yo. Oh my God, yo, the sex worker testified. Yo, everybody was like this. Oh my God. Her husband left. When that dude started testifying, Cassie's husband left. He didn't want to hear it. He left. He left immediately. And I did like this. I didn't even know it was him. I didn't know it was him. He sit right in back of me. Because everybody turned around and looked at me. I'm like, I did like this. And I looked at him and he looked at me. He kind of smiled. I guess to say they looking at you. No, they were looking at you. They were looking at him. And people started writing. They kept turning around writing. But they were looking at Cassie's husband. Hold on one second, man. All right. I don't know how. I'm gonna have to do it like this, yo, because I can't see the chat. Thank you, Dane C, for the donation. You said for some reason they did Epstein too many. They said they did Epstein too many big names. All right. So they said he used Molly and all that other kind of stuff. Now they said Cassie and Jane. Jane was a girlfriend of his, and Jane was a girlfriend of his, and some people are speculating on who Jane is. She's going under Jane, a pseudonym. Um, all right, I guess I could. I'm in the car though, so if they come and try to, I'm right here. So let me see. All right, so Jane. Some people are speculating on who Jane is. Jane has a son, and Jane dated him. Jane is older than Cassie. I was speculating. I was like, damn, Jane could be what's his name, baby mother. You know what I'm saying? The one that the person that always be getting petty with him. But then again, I don't know. It might not be her. It might not be her. It might be Jane. Might be. We about to find out who Jane is, though. We about to find out. She probably be. But if Cassie is testifying tomorrow, she gonna testify all day tomorrow. I don't think she getting off that stand. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna write a whole book on Cassie. I'm almost done with my whole notebook. So people are speculating on who Jane is. Um, they talked about how Cassie and Diddy met in the beginning when she was like 17. Um, they talked about the first time he laid hands on her. And Tenny Garagos is not denying none of that. She said, yeah, he did lay hands on him, but he had a temper, and it was all. She said all of this was all about jealousy. They both were jealous. He was jealous of her. She was jealous of him. Puff was jealous, and he had anger issues. That's what this. She said. That's what this is about. And look, this is something she said. She said after Cassie and Diddy broke up, like for good, Kim Porter passed away, and Cassie went to the services, and she said that she heard Diddy say at the services that Kim was his soulmate, and he said that was the last time Diddy saw Cassie. The next time he gonna see Cassie is sitting up here in this courtroom, and she's saying that Cassie was a jealous person. Tired, yo. I've been up, bro. I'm about to go home, man. I'm tired, man. I gotta get something to go home, but um, she said this was all about jealousy. Both of them were jealous of each other, and that's why she left. She didn't leave because she was getting forced to do these freak offs and all that kind of stuff. It was like she had enough, and then he moved on, and she moved on, and the rest was history. That's really what the defense was saying. Like it was just all about jealousy. And they said he was jealous too. And the prosecutor said she tried running away. And I'm about to get into some stuff that's real graphic. Just to let y'all know. That's I know that's why her husband left. Um, Jane Jane met Puff in 2020. Okay, so let's do the timeline so you can speculate on who you think Jane is. Even I'll tell you who Jane is tomorrow when I see her. If she testify tomorrow or testify after Cassie, I'll tell you who Jane is. I think they want to hurry up and get Cassie out of the way because I heard on the street that she getting ready to pop. She do any time now. That's somebody told me, so they gonna get her out of the way. Like, I mean, she probably testify tomorrow. But they said Jane met Puff in 2020, spending time with him, but it wasn't a public relationship. And then he started telling Jane about his freak offs. He was telling Jane about his freak offs and all that. And also Jane, like with Cassie, helped him set up freak off events. Buying the escorts and stuff like that. Um, he wouldn't let her use condoms. They said they got real. But this ain't even it, yo. I'm about to get real. It's about to get real crazy. They said that he wouldn't let her use condoms and stuff like that. He had drugs around. She has a child. He paid for her housing and stuff like that. One night he made Jane get ready for the freak offs despite beating her up. Now Mia is another victim. Her name is Mia. Um, she was employed. Um, he forced himself on her. Then they claim he forced himself on her while she was sleeping. Um, Now, the hotel video, they're saying that she was running away from a freak off. She didn't want to be a part of it. However, the guard in the hotel, he never did write a report on the guy that was in the hotel room. There was a guy in the hotel room while during that hotel incident. There was a guy in the room waiting, and the guard said when he got to the room, the guy was just sitting there. He didn't say anything. He was just sitting on the bed. He was fully clothed, but he was just sitting on the bed. Puff still had a towel on. But when Brian Steele started questioning the security guard at the hotel, he made him contradict himself. He caught him out there in a bunch of stuff. So in his original report, in his original statement, he said that he grabbed Puff. No, he recently said that on a stand that he grabbed Puff by his chest and held him against the wall. And in his written statement, he said he held Puff's hand. That's all he did. So he was like, did you hold his hand or did you grab his chest? Why would you say that? And now you're changing the story and said you grabbed his chest, right? Why would you say that? Um, why would you say that? Making sure I won't get no ticket here. Why would you say that? So he called him out there. Brian Steele was doing his thing. Um, so they saying the racketeering conspiracy consists of, um, you know, his inner circle, including his bodyguards and people that work with him, to do to do these events, arson and stuff like that, and sex trafficking and the kidnapping and arson and the sex trafficking. That's all a part of the racketeering conspiracy. It's just crazy, man. It's a little bit. Um, yeah, Mia was his personal assistant, and she worked for him. She said she wanted to take this story to her grave. She did not want to say this stuff. But then Tenny Garagos was like, yeah, she just coming out now. Like she got motivation. Tenny Garagos said is money motivated. Um, Now the escort. Yeah, saying they were jealous. She said Cassie and Jane were jealous. Um, and she said he's not charged with being a jerk and being mean. He's being charged with racketeering. This is what Tenny Garrigo said. He said he has a bad temper and sometimes is out of control. She said, but he's not being charged with being a jerk and being mean. He's being charged with racketeering. And he takes full responsibility on the domestic violence, um, but not sex trafficking and racketeering. He said he might be a drug loser. And look, she said this in her opening statement. She said, and he do has a love of baby oil. Is that a crime? When people started laughing. She's standing there like she ready to give me a ticket. I'm watching it though. Hold up. Let's see. Damn, she keep looking at the she might got PTSD. Every time the fire trucks come by, she'll stand still and just look at them. It's crazy. She said he has a love of baby oil. She said, is that a crime? He has a love. No, and just to let you guys know, there was no drugs in the baby oil. That was a lie. You know how people saying there was something in the baby oil? He liked to have them drenched in baby oil. Like when they're doing their thing, he want them drenched in baby oil. That's all the baby oil is for. There was no drugs in the baby oil. It's not. They never mentioned nothing like that about drugs being in the baby oil. But really, the trial. So it could be some surprises, but we'll see. But that was not mentioned in the opening statements. But she said he had a love of baby oil. And she claimed that Cassie was jealous and she tried to get money out of him because she was broken living with her mother. And that was she was motivated by money. That's what she was saying in the opening statements. It was said it was jealousy and drug use and all of the above. So we'll see. She said she was even jealous of Kim Porter. She went there with it. Tinny Garagos went there. She was in an 11-year relationship with Puff. And did she mention she had a boyfriend at the time? Yeah, she did. She really did go in, dog. And I saw Tinny Garagos walk out of the building a little while ago. I forgot to. I think I recorded the back of her when I was live before. No, when I was live on Instagram. If you go to my Instagram live, you'll see it. You'll see her walk past. She said the hotel video was over a phone. It wasn't over sex trafficking. It was over a phone. She was saying the reason why they were fighting because Cassie wanted her phone back and she wanted to leave. But I don't know about that because it was a random dude in the room. That's what the guy said. But Brian Steele, he kind of made the dude not credible, Brian Steele, because he also took the video home so his wife can believe him what happened. So Brian Steele did his thing with that. He made him like almost not credible. Brian did his thing though. Okay, so the sex worker, he was paying men for their time and experience. That's what he was doing. So he wasn't paying for people to go across state lines. He wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah, let me not steer. Let me not. She looked crazy. She was like, he was paying different men for their time and experience. And it was called Cowboys for Angels. That's the name of the company. It's here in New York City, I guess. Cowboys for Angels. He paid money for your time and experience. So that's what he was doing. He said, is that a crime, paying money for their time and experience? His name, the first witness, let's get into the first witness. Well, yeah, the first witness was, well, let me go back. So the first witness was Officer Israel Flores. He's with the LAPD now. He's been there since 7 years. But before that, he was the head of security at that hotel. That's who I was talking about. And he identified Diddy in court and all that. He pointed him out. But he was the director of the security at that hotel of the Cassie video. He was witness number one. His name is Officer Israel Flores, and he spelled Flores Forez. So that was Israel Flores. I want to go to witness two. His name is Daniel Phillips. He's 41 years old, and Cassie gave him money for sex with her. He first met Kathy through his boss, and he went to the Gramercy Hotel up here, the Gramercy Hotel, and that's where that first encounter happened at the Gramercy Hotel. And he was expecting, because when she hired him, he thought he was going there for a bachelorette party, because that's what was told, that he was getting paid for his time and experience. Okay, because that's what he was doing. He's getting paid for it. It's not sex work. He getting paid for his time and his experience. Like, it's an experience. So he first met at the Gramercy Hotel, and he was told that it was supposed to be a bachelorette party, but it wasn't a bachelorette party. He was expecting more women when he showed up, but he saw Cassie. And when he got there, she said, "Hey, listen, because his boss was told her to give him $200 up front." So she gave him the money. She said, "Your boss told me to give you the 200 up front." He said, "Yeah." And she said, "Listen, it's not what." I don't think I'm supposed to be parked here, but they don't know I'm in the car. So let's see. See if he try to give me a ticket. He don't know I'm in the, my tent is really dark. Oh, he already got somebody. Let me see. They got out of town plates. Yep. Um, he told a Tesla too. Um, he said when he first got there, she just said, yeah. She said, I thought it was a bachelor party. She said, no, my husband. She referenced Diddy as her husband. She said, my husband, he want to do some different things. And if you down, saying just, we could take it however far you want to take it. So she said she was dressed in this red lace outfit with high heels on, and she had on some dark shades. So he was like, "What the fuck?" Right? Because he thought he was going there for a bachelorette party. He was like, "What the hell?" So then when he got in the room, he didn't know it was Puff at first. He didn't know it was Cassie or Puff at first because Puff had on, he said he had on a robe. He was just sitting there, had on a robe. Now just picture this shit. He just sitting there with his robe on and he had a bandana on. Like, only thing you could see is his eyes. He had a bandana on tied around his face. Okay? So he didn't know it was Puff at first. And people laughed in the courtroom at the description of him in a robe with a bandana on his face. People laughed. The laughter broke out. And he said, Cassie was like, can you rub me with some baby oil? Right? Can you rub me with some baby oil and give me a massage? And her clothes went off and she said, whatever we're gonna do, Fernandez, whatever we're gonna do. So then his clothes went off to his boxers and she doused him with baby oil. Then she said, Puff was like, y'all ain't got enough baby oil on. Put some more baby oil on, so they could be drenched. So they drenched themselves with baby oil. Um, so they wound up having sex, and he said the sex didn't last that long because he climaxed like we're super fucking quick because she was really hot. So it didn't last long. So then he put on his clothes, and she gave him like, I think she said she gave him like $6,000. So she gave him like $6,000, and he was like done just like that. So Puff went up to him. As soon as Puff started talking, he knew it was Puff from his voice. And Puff said, I got a problem with your boss and all that. Your boss and me and him ain't really got a good relationship, but can we take your number? Would you like to do this again? And he said, yeah, I'd like to do it again. So Puff was like, Cassie, get his number or whatnot. And we're going to put him in, in the rotation or whatever. So then he got dressed, he got his money, he went outside. As soon as he went outside, he got a call from Cassie. It was like, dude, you want to do it again? Like, let's do it again. He said, okay. And she said, but you need to send me a picture of your penis. Okay. We want to see a picture of your penis and all that. Yeah, we want to see that, right? And he sent her a picture of his penis and he went right back upstairs. And they did a round two. Just like that. They hired him again, just that quick. And Puff was like directing or whatever, and all this baby oil, they wanted to put douse with more baby oil. It wasn't even enough baby oil. It said in one trip he had to go get some baby oil from the store because they ran out. So he had to go purchase some baby oil because Puff he wanted the baby oil. And so they went to round two and all that. And Puff, this is gonna get graphic, but I'm gonna just tell you. Puff said to her, he was like directing it, and while he was like in the corner on the couch jacking off, and sometimes he will instruct the guy to, because this he was with her on multiple occasions, and he had bottles and bottles of baby oil. They also had unprotected sex, which didn't last long. What else? Yeah, Puff was into them putting more baby oil on. And Puff would instruct him to not climax yet. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're going to climax, stop. And then, he get his turn. But he was instructing him, don't climax until I want you to. And then he would tell him where to do it, where to reach it at, either on her stomach or inside of her. I'm sorry to get graphic, but that's what they were saying in court. Okay. The sessions will last an hour to 10 hours. He said sometime after having sex, he would just sit in the room and wait for them to come out. It could be hours. He just sitting in the room. Till finally they'll come and say, okay, you're free to go home. Like that. But the way he was testifying, though, he didn't have a problem with it. It would just, he would provide, he said it, I'm providing my experience. So he said on a few encounters, Diddy did record it on a few encounters. And then he said that Diddy asked for his driver's license, and he understood that to be threatening. And he said one time Cassie was under the influence so bad she was passed out, and Diddy came out and said, I guess we're not doing a freak off tonight. And he noted that he didn't care about getting paid money. He noted that. It was almost like I felt like he was trying to help out the defense. He said he didn't care about getting money. He said he was just having a really good time and they just wanted to pay him, let him pay him. You know, they paying me for my time, but he said I didn't need money. But it's almost like I felt like he was trying to help out the defense. Oh, and he also mentioned there was a time where he couldn't, he had erectile dysfunction when he was trying to do a freak off because he had witnessed Diddy hit Cassie. He witnessed Diddy hit Cassie and they went in the back and you heard a lot of slapping and crying. And then he said after that happened, they all came out and said, hey, y'all ready for this freak off? Like Puff was like, yo, y'all ready for the freak off? So the prosecutor, this is the state, I mean, the government presenting their case. They're making it seem like, see, that's where they making it seem where the crime is. She really didn't want to do it, but he had her under control and stuff like that. That's why they're saying it's criminal, as opposed to just being his lifestyle. Because of that one incident, the guy witnessed, he said they were fighting, and then Diddy came out and said, all right, y'all ready to do the freak off, but he couldn't reach it. He couldn't get erect. And then he left. And then another time, Cassie called him over to talk. This is the same sex worker. Cassie, 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 brought him over to talk. Right? Cassie brought him over to talk, and they were just talking and whatnot. And he said normally Cassie don't kiss during the freak offs. She don't like kissing and all that during the freak offs. But at that one moment they were talking because he wanted to know how she was. And she started kissing and making out with him. And right when they were about to do their thing, Puff come creeping in and peeking. He came peeking in. And he was like, what the fuck? He didn't even know Puff was in there. He said Puff was creeping, right? He came in and he said, oh, I like what y'all doing. He said, I like that y'all connecting like that. I like that. He immediately started choking the chicken, right? He said, I like how y'all doing that. It's organic. Like, making it, I guess it's organic that they connecting. He said he liked that. And then he said, at sometimes Puff would say, stop, it's getting too hot. You know what I'm saying? And he'll tell him to stop, then he'll join in. But at that one moment, he said Puff just kind of creeped in. He was off to the side. He was like looking, like peeping at them, about to get down. But right when they were about to get down, here come Puff coming in. He's controlling. He's like, yeah, I like what y'all doing and all that. I like that. So keep going. He said the moment he saw Puff, he couldn't get hard no more. Okay? He couldn't get hard no more. So eventually, Puff ain't using no more. His stuff ain't working. And the reason why his stuff wasn't working because Puff didn't slapping her up and all that. That's what he's saying. And he said it was one incident. This was graphic. Everybody was like, oh my God. It was one incident where Diddy asked Cassie requested for him to pee on her, right? Alleged pee on her, right? He said no. He's saying Cassie requested him to pee on her. He said, all right. Well, he never tried. She said, have you done this before? He said, I never did it before. So he started peeing on it, and then Puff said, whoa, 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 stop, stop. And Cassie said, stop, stop. They all said, stop. Like, what are you doing? You do it slowly. Puff said, you got to pee slowly. And he was like, what the fuck? He said, you don't just let it all out. You got to do it slowly because Puff was whacking off. So he was whacking off to it, and he couldn't finish his climate. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy, yo. Yo, that testimony was crazy. Yo, Gloria Allred was shaking her head. Yo, Gloria Allred was laughing. Everybody was laughing. You're like, what the fuck? People found it. It's the way he was on the stand. Everybody was laughing, yo. They was like, what? And some people was like, oh my God. So he said they stopped them. They said, no, 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 no. You ain't doing it right. You got to do it slowly. You got to pee slowly. Let a little bit out at a time. You got so he could reach his climax. Now you know where I got climate from. I don't know if you remember that the tall salad man. I don't know if y'all remember the tall salad man video. He was like, yeah, the dude that's in jail. He said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? In order to reach my climate, I like jelly on my salad. You know what I'm saying? That's where I got the climate from when he reaches climate. 'Cause, you know what I'm saying? So okay, so Puff was like, nah, you don't do it that way. So they taught him how to do it. And it was one time, yeah, I don't even know if I want to mention that. That's too graphic. Yeah, so he was he noted he noted he noted that she came up to him in distress after her and Puff was fighting. They had connected. They had a moment. And she normally not a kiss, and then she started kissing him. And then here come Puff creeping to the side. He said he didn't even know Puff was in there. But Puff, he liked that activity. That like turned him on. That she organically connected with him. That turned Puff on. And then also it turned him on because he's supposed to be endowed and all that. So that's what they like. This is sick and twisted, y'all. Even Gloria Allred was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But his lawyer cross-examined him, and everybody seemed like he was reaching or whatever, but he wasn't really reaching. He was trying to illustrate that Cassie was down with it. That's what he was doing. He said, well, who set up the freak off? He said she did. Like that. So that's what he was doing. Guys, this shit gonna get great. And they just told us we're gonna watch everything. They said we're gonna watch the videos and everything. They said they're not hiding shit from the public. We're watching. If y'all there, y'all watching it. That's what they said. Y'all watching the freak off videos and everything. Everything being watched. So I thought they were gonna put the jury in another room, but we'll see. Um, as far as that was day one. I just told you day one because they only had on day one. They only had two witnesses. Yeah, they only had they had Flores and after Flores, the sex worker. But he said he really ain't a sex worker. He get money for his experience and time and his experience. You paying for the experience and his time. Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to the people that had donated on the last live chat. Shout out to Dane C for donating on this one. And shout out for the cash apps. I appreciate y'all. I saw the cash apps. Thank you very much. That's gonna pay for parking tomorrow. So thank you. that's going to go to parking tomorrow. But I plan to be up here for the whole duration. And I was talking to a lot of vloggers. I didn't even know who some of these people were, yo. They was like, yo, yeah, hold on. Yeah, people. Somebody was like, you talking to what's her name? And I was like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who this person I'm talking to is. Somebody, well, who is Jess Hilarious? Who is that? Somebody said that person was there. I don't know who that is. I might have been talking to him. But she was in the courtroom, I think, or whoever it is. Armand Wiggins was there. Armand Wiggins was there. Tisa Tells, y'all know Tisa Tells, right? Tisa Tells were there. She was in the overflow room with me. She was also in the elevator with me, her and Lisa Bloom. And I forget the other guy's name from CNN. And also TMZ. I was standing online with some TMZ people. It was hilarious. They were in there getting their content, man. Everybody was writing it down. People were working up in there. Everybody was taking notes. Everybody was taking notes up in there. And it's truly an experience, when I got there, it was crazy. But guess what? I found out a way, low key, how to get into the. I ain't gonna say it here, but I found out a trick to get in. I don't know if I even know my secrets, but I know I'm gonna get in the courtroom with Puff tomorrow. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be in the early morning part though. I'm gonna be in the overflow room because they do have line holders out here. Them line holders are hilarious. They out there smoking weed and everything. Them line holders are hilarious, man. The line holders are hilarious. But for the most part, day one consisted of they had to finish seating the jury. I got there late. They had already seated the jury by the time I got there and took their break. So by the time, just to give you a perspective, by the time I got in the courtroom, they had already seated the jury. And I got there for the for the opening statements though. I got caught all the opening statements. And a lot of people seem to think that the opening statements were long. I've seen longer opening statements. Oh, by the way, I have to make a correction. Jose Baez is not on the case. He's not on the case. Somebody told me he was, but he's not. It was a mistake. He's not on the case. Because I was like, what? Yeah, but he's not on the case. I was like, damn. But he's not on the case. Yeah, they getting paid to stand out there, man. And the thing is, I don't have to be out there mad early. Because they got an overflow room. They got more than one overflow room. It got 3 floors. I can't remember which floor Puff on though. They won't tell us. I think it was the 26th floor. I think Puff is on the 26th floor. I'm not sure. The main room. But his kids are there. They have a section for his kids to sit in back of them. So they're there. Like I said, I saw 2 of his kids in the hallway. I mean, downstairs in the hallway, but I didn't see the other sister. Maybe it was the other sister standing there because they're usually both standing together, the twins. I only saw one though, but I did see Christian. I did see. Oh, what's this over here? Is he closing up? Oh, what is this spot over here? I just came up on something, yo. I'm gonna have to go across the street before. What is that spot? 1 second. I think I messed up. Hold on. Hey, y'all. Oh, you can. Oh, y'all can still hear me. Okay. That's like a little convenience store over there. I need to go over there, yo. I'm mad thirsty. All right, I'm back. My bad. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I got my settings. Okay. I'm about to head out of here. But I'm just giving you guys some of this stuff. So, um, really, just how it's set up out here, it is a lot of people. It is, and a lot of the media, what they're doing is that some people are paying people to sit online for them. Armand Wiggins and them, they were camped out last night. Armand was camped out, so he got in that other room, up in there with Puff, I believe. That's where everybody wanted to get into. That was the goal, to get in there in the room where he was at. Everybody wanted to get in that room, but I couldn't get in there. I got in there late, and people had people online. So, but I do know how to. I do know how to get in there though. Hold on. I just got to make sure. I do know how. I do know how to get in there now. But just hold. I'm gonna hold that for tomorrow. So let me just go ahead and get ready. I'm just going back. I'm going back home. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna wait around here. I'm just too tired, yo. I'm just too tired to sit around. I'm like, I was gonna go. I just because I'm gonna have a late day. Am I still there? Okay. I'm gonna have an early. It's crazy, man. It's like I'm only like 15 miles from like my destination, but out here, that's an eternity to drive 15 miles. 15 miles take you forever, but like where I used to live, I mean, not where I used to, where I live, and VA 15 miles ain't nothing. You get there in no time. Out here, that's just how it is. It's a challenge. But I ran into Celebrity Scandalous. I was chilling with her. She was holding the camera for me initially. She be in the chat, Celebrity Scandalous. She came in from cross country. I'm gonna link up with her tomorrow, and she gonna do some content. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to work on some more shorts and stuff like that while I'm waiting, because we gonna get out there mad early tomorrow. But am I gonna get in there with Puff? No, because they got line holders. They got professional line holders on us. And when I tell you they got professional line holders, dog, they got a lot of them. A lot. And they listen, the line holders are camped out there now. They're out there right now. Like right now. So I'm like, if I get hit mad early, I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna get where Puff and them at. But I will get in though, as far as to listen to the trial. I'm gonna listen to the trial, but I'm gonna be in the overflow room. Now the overflow room has a TV. All you gotta do is sit close to the monitor, and you'll be straight. If you're trying to come here, if anybody trying to come here, you'll be able to get in. Um, it was really like simple to get in. Oh, I went the wrong way. All right, let's just go straight. I'm supposed to go that way. It's very simple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Damn, I keep messing up my turn. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'll go this way. Uh, yeah. So it's really simple to get in. You just gotta wait online, and you get. It's almost like going through the airport. You gotta go through metal detector, and um, you can't bring no vapes in. If you got vapes and stuff, you gotta get prepared to throw it away, or you're not getting in. No vapes. They say that to you at the door. You ain't got no vapes on you, do you? You're like, no. All right, well, you ain't. You can come in. But if you got vapes, they really beefing over the vapes. But anything else, all you gotta do is wait online. Now your cell phone, this is the only reason why I couldn't go live, because I had to check. I had to check. I had to check my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? When I got there, look at this building. I love that building right there. I call it the Jenga building. That building right there, straight ahead. That building straight ahead. Um, a CEO, I forget, one of the CEOs jumped from that building and died. But Frank Ocean got an apartment in there too, and a few other celebrities and whatnot. But the building just looks crazy, don't it? Um, I like what they did with this. They redid this little street though. Oh, they got some pizza right there. I don't feel like stopping though. Yeah, I don't feel like stopping. I feel like just going home. Sit right now. But real simple to get in. The only thing is to get in there with Puff at, there's a way to do it because it's something they do for lunch break. They make everybody, I ain't gonna, I don't want to give it away because that's my secret. I don't want to give it away, yo, because everybody gonna catch on to it. But I will be in the courtroom with him tomorrow after lunch, though. After lunch. But the overflow rooms are just as good because you can hear very well, and it's almost like you, even the exhibits and stuff, we can see the exhibits as well, so it's all good. Um, but a person that was sitting in back of me, she was a rap. She's like a publicist for Mark Garagos, and she was saying a few things, and she's saying the videos is not what they trying to make it out to be. You know, it's not what they trying to make it out to be, and she already saw the videos. That's what she's saying to us. So, but I didn't realize her husband, Cassie's husband, was sitting in back of me. Because I know people all turned around and they was like looking. I was like, what they looking at? But he was apparently sitting right in back of me, and he left right when that guy started doing his testimony. The the private dancer. He at that point he was just out. At that point, he didn't want to have no parts of the testimony. So everybody is saying tomorrow that Cassie will be there. She will be testifying tomorrow. Yeah, Cassie will be testifying tomorrow. And there's another, it's Cassie, and I told you it's Jane, Cassie, Jane, Mia, Cassie, Jane, Mia, and I believe the lady that said she was dangled over a balcony, she might be victim 4. Yeah, and Mia, I mean Jane. Some people are speculating, like I said, who Jane is. Is she going under a pseudonym? But however, I think I know who Jane is. I think I do. And it was nobody we ever discussed. Nobody ever discussed. And they said he kept the relationship private. And Jane is a lot older than Cassie, and she has a son. She has a son, I believe. So, and you remember they mentioned, I'm not gonna say the rapper name, but they mentioned him recently. So I'm like, is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know who it is. I don't know who Jane is. I'm only speculating on who Jane is. But I think I know who Jane is. But we're gonna wait till Jane testified, then I'll tell y'all. But yeah, just like I had noticed, I'm gonna start to get a know. I'm gonna start to get to know a lot of people. Everybody's friendly. We were sitting there talking to Gloria Allred, her daughter. Her daughter's real cool, Lisa Bloom. We were just sitting there chopping it up, and they were just sitting there kicking it and whatnot. One guy didn't know who she was. One guy didn't know. I, all right, I'm getting in the tunnel. I'm getting out of here. I'm in the tunnel now. One of the guys didn't know who she was until we told him. Like, yo, she's like a famous attorney and all that, high-powered attorney. And there's quite a few people there, man. I ran into one of Diddy lawyers in the hallway. The brother, I ran into him. I forget his name, but he a brother. Ran into him in the hallway. I saw Brian Steele. I saw Tenny Garagos. I saw them outside though. Brian Steele outside, Tenny Garagos. One of his lawyers I saw inside, down in the lobby. And it's like everybody's around each other. It's kind of crazy. I saw, like I said, I saw his son, and I only saw one of his daughters, even though both of them were there. I only saw one of them, the twins. I don't know if anybody saw Justin. Maybe he was there, but I didn't see him. because at that point I was trying to do what I had to do and try to find where everything is, where the cafeteria and stuff. Like, I was trying to find everything. But now I shouldn't have done that. I should have just waited. Oh, I ain't gonna say it. You'll see tomorrow. But it sucks though. I can't have my phone though at my break. I could get my phone at the break, but then I gotta check back in again. I gotta go back in line and check back in again, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't want to. So I just couldn't have my phone because you have to recheck in again and stuff like that. And I didn't want to have. But actually, what the crazy thing was? After the morning rush, there was no more line, really. Everybody whoever was in there just was in there. There was no, it wasn't really too many more new people showing up in court. You might have had a few people show up like that, but not too many. It was just whoever was in those 3 courtrooms, that was it. But let me tell you this, it was a powerful moment that people in the courtroom, one woman, she said, "Oh my God, I feel sorry for Diddy at this moment. I feel sorry for him." When his lawyer said, I want to introduce you to Sean Combs," and she looked back at him and he stood up, yo. He stood up, man, and the jury, I know they felt that. He stood up, man. Let me see, Puff stood up, man, and looked at the jury. He stood up for at least a minute. And my video ain't working, but he had a sense of confidence, and he had a sense of confidence and worried. He was worried at the same time. I can't really explain it. That's what his aura was showing. That that's what that was showing. Now my video look crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my video, but when he sat up, look, when he stood up, you could hear a pin drop. Everybody just like got quiet when he stood up because we've been waiting for a minute. You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for this, and we just got it. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, we were just waiting. Waiting and waiting. Let me see something. 139. Damn, I know I don't want to go this way, dog. Damn, I don't know why I went this way. Maybe it's better for traffic or something. Um, but yeah, when he stood up, the lady said in back of me, she said, "I really feel sorry for him right now at this moment. I feel sorry for him because I think she was thinking the case is bullshit. She was like, I feel sorry, Matt, and people were like laughing throughout the when they were putting on their case, like talking to the first when they were talking to the first witness, people were laughing because Brian Steele was catching them out there left and right to the point where it was funny. Um, yeah, Brian Steele was catching them out there, yo. He was. He was catching them out there on so many things. He was like, did you hold Puff against the wall or did you grab his hand? Like like what did you do? Because you're saying 2 different things, sir. Brian he was in his bag. Um, that's what I wanted to note there. But I did note that Christian Combs, he didn't look happy, Stan. He didn't look happy when I saw him. I mean, he obviously, but I mean, what is it to be? I mean, he just didn't have a good look on his face when I saw him. The girls were fun. One of the girls I saw, she was fine. Where am I going? Okay, I'm going this way. Yeah, okay. I'm going the right way. Um, yeah, he would just kind of, because he was out there with everybody, he was just kind of in the hallway. Some people were talking to him and stuff like that. Some people, like he was talking a little bit, to some people. He was just chilling, you know what I'm saying? He had on all black, I believe. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe tomorrow I will get there and see them. I don't know. I'm not going to see them come in the courtroom. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not going to see them because I'm trying to get in there. So I'm going to be waiting. I don't know if I'm going to be waiting online. I'm going to have to figure this out because today I got there at exactly like 9. But tomorrow, I think it starts at, I forget what time they start tomorrow. I got to look at my notes. He said it. And then the next week, they're going to start a little earlier so they can get out earlier. He said he wanted them out there no later than 4 p.m. So, but yeah, it was something else. So I pretty much get the hang of it tomorrow. Like I need to get on a routine. That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and then figure it out from there. Be on a routine, and go from there. Like I said, I met quite a few. I met somebody from Hot 97, and he was working for Hot 97, and out in there vlogging and stuff like that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, man. Um, but getting in was easier than I expected. I thought I wasn't gonna get in, but when I walked in there, I was saying, "There ain't that many people online. I'll just wait," because most people are already in the courtroom already, because everything had already started. So I was like, "Nah, man, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait right here." And then the guy told me, "Well, you going in the overflow room?" I said, "Oh, that's no problem. I was just happy to get in." So yeah. Um, Let me see. What else can I tell you? Oh my God, damn! Yo, I swear, if I had my tires went flat, I would have tried to make the city pay for it. I'm out here on 1 and 9, and it's an area where it's nothing but potholes. They need to fix it. It's crazy, man. But yeah, man, it's easier. It was easier to get in than I thought, though, for real. The judge is very thorough. Um, that's my opinion on the judge. He's very thorough, and he's not letting nothing get past him. And yeah, I'm probably gonna make a dedicated video later, just going over more stuff with the trial. That's what I'm gonna do. But tomorrow it's supposed to be Cassie testifying. That's what everybody's saying. But yeah, we're gonna see. Definitely gonna see. Let me see what y'all got. Next week it starts at 9:30. It's at 3:30. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good for me. You said the prosecutors threaten all the co-defendants with immunity deals. Yeah, I expect some people that used to work for them. They're gonna be like bodyguards and stuff like that. They said a lot of bodyguards and different people like that's gonna be testifying. So we're gonna find out who these bodyguards over these bodyguards over. Excuse me. We're gonna find out who these bodyguards are soon. Yeah, we definitely gonna find out. But yeah, man, it was really when witness two got up there, he was like a sex worker. It was pretty graphic. And people when the video came out, people kind of reacted to that in an unfavorable way. But they got to prove that um, a crime took place, but it was domestic violence, of course. That's what his lawyer was saying. They're not arguing that. That's domestic violence. But did he was it a crime though? That's what she was saying. She said, yeah, domestic violence, and technically it was a crime. It was assault. It was a crime. But I think that's what she was saying. But she said he's not being charged with that. He's being charged with sex trafficking. That's what she meant. Yeah, that's what she meant. Yeah, that's what she meant. But she did a good job though, Tenny Garrigo. She did a really good job, I must say. In some of that, she did a really good job. Comey, she did have a really good presentation too. But Tenny she did a really good job in her opening statements. I was surprised. Not surprised that she wouldn't, but I was surprised that she was doing the opening statements. I thought it was gonna be Brian Steele. But no, Tenny, it made sense. Okay, it made sense that it was Tenny Garrigos because she's been on the case since the beginning. And she did a really good job. Because the way she presented it and the way they presented it, I don't know. I don't know if they got enough to convict them. I don't think so. They're gonna have to convince me now because if I had to deliberate today, he would have been home already. He would have been home. He would have been home. I would have deliberated for 5 minutes. He would have been gone. Gone. He would have been gone. See, because what the people that he hired for the free calls, right? It was a website promoting a service, and that's what he got. He got an experience. Now, if they want to do some other things, that means they're adults. They can do whatever, and that's what he's contending. He said, "Yeah, we paid him for his time and experience, and then we just happened to do our thing." But he didn't go there for the purposes of that or whatever. So that's why it's like technical. That's what they're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see. But for the jury, though, they're going to have to really pay close attention and not get into the media hype in the documentary because that's all hype, yo. Everybody's saying it now that's in the courtroom. This shit is hype. They hyped this shit up. That's what everybody was saying. So a lot of people were saying they hyped it up. And he's strong, though. He looks strong. Um, he looks just like how he normally looks, but his hair is just gray. That's all it is. He don't have no Just for Men. That's all it is. They ain't got no Just for Men up in there. But he looked the same. He don't look like he gained or lost too much weight. He looked the same to me. Um, yeah, I just wanted to note that he looked the same. Um, he wasn't slow to get up or anything like that. He was active. He talking to Brian Steele because Brian Steele was sitting next to him. Um, yeah, everything was he was normal. But when he got up, though, when I first saw him, I was like, wow, that's what they've been talking about. He's the man of the hour. That's who they've been talking about all this time. And here he is. He right there. You know, I'm back in Jersey, by the way. It takes me quicker to get here than in the morning. But I'm leaving out here mad early in the morning, though. Okay, yeah. So I ain't gonna have no traffic to deal with, and I'm gonna go sit out there with the line squatters. They hilarious, by the way. The line squatters. You said the jury is going crazy. I didn't get a chance to see the jury from my perspective because from where the where the phone is, I mean where the camera is, I couldn't see the jury. But when they walked in, I could see some of the jury like profiles. I could see some of it. But I'm gonna tell you though, man, a lot of people like, man, I don't know if they got a clear cut case here, man. Not for them opening statements, man. Unless they got something up their sleeve. Because people keep saying they got something up their sleeve. I don't know. They might. We'll see. But his lawyers are really, really, really good, though. They're really good. I saw, like I said, the lawyer that finished stuff for the day. I saw him in the hallway. Yeah, I saw him in the hallway and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I think it's a 75% chance Puff gonna beat this. It's a 75% chance, man. He got a 75. I'm giving him a. I'm not giving it 50. I'm giving him a 75% chance now. 75% that he can beat this. That's crazy, ain't it? Because when I was listening to the sex worker talk, there wasn't no crime took place. When he was talking about his real only crime that was taking place was well, actually there is a it is walking the line a little bit. It is walking the line because he said that he witnessed them have a fight and then they came back, but I don't think he couldn't perform though. But yeah, there was some abuse there. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about the sex trafficking though. Was this proven the crime of sex trafficking? Now they're trying to. I see where they're going with the coercion. I see where they're going with that. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna have to. The jury got a hard task here because they're gonna be watching this for a couple of months, so they're gonna have a hard task. So we'll see. This is not a slam dunk case though. Definitely not. You said I read. Hold up. I read it was less than half. He could beat it. No, Jose Bias is not on the case. Somebody told me that, but they told me it's not correct. But yeah, happy birthday, sexy star. I know you said it was your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, sexy star. It's your birthday, right? Happy birthday. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's a slam dunk case though. It's just how you. It's gonna be how the jury interprets it. Interpret the case. I think, but it's not a slam dunk situation. I really don't think so. But I could be wrong though. It just depends on your perspective. But I'm gonna have to listen to some other people that were there and see what their perspective was. Like I said, his lawyers are doing a really good job. So Brian Steele, he really did a good job. Brian Steele, Brian Steele is Brian Steele. He set it off as soon as he got on the podium. He set it off. He didn't waste no time getting at that dude. He wasted no time pointing out his inconsistencies. I'll say that. He wasted no time pointing out the inconsistencies. He wasted no time at all. But shout out to Brian Steele, man. Now, this person that was in there for the duration of the jury instructions, I mean the jury choosing, she right, them bench seats hurt, man. Oh my God, everybody was tired, yo. At the end, everybody was wanting to get out of there. Them bench seats were hurting. Woo, they were hurting, man. But then the judge gave us 15-minute break, for us to stand up and all that and go to the bathroom and stuff. So that's what we did. But the bench seats was hurting, man. Actually, I stood there. I was talking to some people that I met there. So I just was just chilling, but I still was relaxed because I was chilling. We, stood up a little bit and everybody was chilling. But everybody is cool. All the vloggers, everybody is cool because this one lady, said, "Can you watch my spot?" People watched her spot for her, and then she watched people's spot. Everybody was like kind of helpful in that way. Everybody was helping each other out. You know what I'm saying? Watching each other's spot, stuff like that. Really looking out for each other. So I really love that right there. When Tisa came in, everybody was shouting her out and stuff. Like, when Tisa Tells came up in there. She mad tall, yo. Tisa tall, yo. I don't know if it was that or she had them high heels on. She did have high heels on. Maybe it was that. But she was mad cool. Um yeah, a lot of people was mad cool, man. Yeah, his daughters, see, that's the thing. What this lady next to me said, that his daughters had to sit there and listen to that. But they were prepared though. His daughters, they look. Well, I saw one of his daughters. She looked strong. You know what I'm saying? Um, his son looked a little bothered, but he was still okay though. He was talking to people and stuff like that. He was kind of being quiet, like, off to the side, but he was still kind of talking to people a little bit. I don't like when people yell out his name and stuff and like ask him random questions in front of people. I don't like that. If you're gonna go up to him and talk to him. Don't yell it out. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think? Don't do that. That shit's corny. Like, don't do that. I ain't do that. Like, I think me and him like saw each other, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't, I'm not gonna get up in his face. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, what's going on? I'm not trying to do all that. I give him a head nod. Like I tell you, I'm really like that. I give you a head nod, and that's it. I'm not gonna be in your face because you're a human being. You know what I'm saying? This is his, he going through it. So I'm not trying to be in his face, got the camera in his face. I'm not trying to do all that. I think it was somebody from TMZ that did that. That was like talking to him like that. But I'm not doing that. TMZ was outside. They were all over the place. But all the outlets were there, as you guys know. All the international outlets. There was somebody from it was cameras from all over the world, yo, that was there. It's craziness. All over the planet, all over the world. Let me see. Damn, it's hard to get parks over here, dog. really don't want to park here, but guess what? I'm gonna park here anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna park here. Um, yeah, it was people all over the world, man. Like representing. So I just wanted to say that, man. It was a good representation. I'm at the house now, but I'm sitting here rapping with y'all right now for a second. But there was a good representation of people from all over the world there. You said your new little won't say off my your little man. Yeah, so definitely definitely an interesting day, man, to say the least. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely interesting, I must say. Just going through all that, that's my first trial type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So I was excited. Y'all know I was mad excited. I mean, due to I know, the circumstances for him, but I was like mad excited, man. And then, I ran into some people that follow me over here. You know what I'm saying? I ran into some people. And one guy was like, yo, I know you from somewhere. I know your voice. And what's her name was like, yeah, he got a YouTube channel. He said, yeah, I know that's where I knew you from. So, people mad cool though. Um, Damn, I didn't realize I had some gum up in here. I'm going down in my bag. Um, yeah, people were mad cool. Puff, man, he was sitting there. He just like, man, I was like, damn, Puff. I was kind of feeling for him a little. I'm like, damn, man, this case, boy, he facing a lot of time, baby. But hold on one second. These people, man. Let's see. So anybody got any questions? If you got any questions, let me do the guest invite. If anybody want to come on, if you got any questions, there's the link. Open it up for questions right now. If anybody got any questions about today, hit me up. I'm mad thirsty, yo. I'm gonna have to hydrate. How was his mom? I wasn't in the courtroom. I didn't see his mom. I'm busy keeping it real with you. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I didn't see his mom, but I heard she looked really good. His mom don't age, yo. That's this lady said she's known his mom for years. That woman don't age. She looked good, but she was crying. She was wiping tears. You know what I'm saying? In court, because I know people that was sitting in there and they told me they said she was sitting there wiping tears away. Trying to keep it together. Let me see what y'all questions are. Hold on, let me look. Let me read y'all questions. Let's see what we got. I'm afraid to use links. Okay, no, just exit in the chat. Yeah, she was emotional. Nash Vegas. You said it sounded like Diddy got fair judge on the bench. Yeah, he did. He got fair judge on the bench. The judge is fair. Yep. It's not up to the judge though. It's up to the jury. But the judge is handling everything correctly. He handling objections correctly and everything. Yeah, she's wiping tears and stuff. They told me. I won't see her until tomorrow because in the morning I'm not gonna see her. I'm gonna be in the overflow room because they right now, guys. They got line holders out there, and they're charging 35 to 40 an hour. So if y'all want to make some money, come out there because people are paying. People are paying 30 40 an hour just to hold the line. But it was crazy. They $30 40 to hold the line. Do I got a pet? No, I don't have any pets. But tomorrow, you guys gonna get some more activity tomorrow. Um, so you're gonna get some more activity outside the courtroom because I'm gonna be out there early because I'm gonna go link up with celebrity scandalous and we gonna roll together. And then I have a gimbal too. I'm gonna bring my gimbal tomorrow, but I didn't have my gimbal today. I just didn't feel like, I thought I wasn't gonna have allowed to have it, but obviously it was nothing but media in there. There was a lot of YouTubers that had media passes. A lot of them. I should have went and got one, yo. But here's the thing. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because some of the reporters didn't even get into the main room because of those line holders. They were kind of mad about that. They were kind of mad. Them line because of those line holders. Because of those line holders, they didn't even get in the main room. Line holders had that thing on lock, yo. They had that thing on lock. Yeah, they had that thing really on lock, yo. Thank you guys again for the donations. Thank you all for coming in and supporting and all that, chopping it up with me. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get in the main room tomorrow, old boy. I know a way to get in, but you can't get in until after a certain time. You ain't getting in. Listen, you're not getting in that main room in the morning. That's not happening. Especially Cassie's supposed to testify tomorrow. It's not happening. Nope, because some line holders got it on lock. I'm just letting you know. If you do want to get in, you got to go pay a line holder. And people were pissed because people were pissed yesterday because I mean pissed this morning because um they were out there right with the line holders and then all of a sudden all these people jumped in front of them because the line holders held their spot. There was one line holder that held like 8 spots. So it was 8 people jumped in front of everybody. People were kind of pissed about it and they were out there waiting. I think Armand got in. He did get in, but people that were waiting out there camped out, they didn't get in. I know some people that was camped out there since 2 this morning. You know what I'm saying? I would have been pissed. That's why I'm glad I didn't do it. I know people say, Max, you got to camp out there, but um, I couldn't. It was no way possible. No way possible. it was no way possible for me to it was no way possible for me to camp out. You know what I'm saying? It was no way possible. It was police every. It was like they had that line on lock. There's no way I could do it, yo. It was no way. They had the guards out there monitoring it. They had the line holders. You know, they had the line holders had the line holders had it on lock today, yo. I shout out to the line holders, man. Shout out to them. I'm not paying them because you right now you got to pay them. If you gonna go right now, you got to go pay them now, and you got to pay them from 8 p.m. all the way till 8 a.m. You got to pay them when them doors open. You got to pay them from eight. That's a lot. $30, $40, $50 an hour. That's too much. So that's what it is, man. The line holders got to shout out to the line holders, man. Hold on, let me see something. But shout out to the line holders, man. I just want to say that again because they were not. They were deep. Yeah, it was like Jordan shoe collection, man. It was crazy. You said how does one of the line holders? Some they were holding more than one spot. Jaguar Wright was out there today. Jaguar was out there today. Hey, what's going on, Kia?
Hey Max,
Hey, how you doing?
they're doing good. I just wanted to real quick just encourage you. You look kind of nervous standing in front of the courtroom, but you look good. You look good, and just act like you're supposed to be there because you'll probably get a little bit of stardom behind this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, what happened was it was just everybody. Hold on, hold on 1 second. I was trying to. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was trying to inch up. She almost hit my car.
My God.
Hold on. I'm sorry about that. Somebody was trying to park. But yeah, it was just that everybody was tired. It was a kind of overwhelming. Everybody was overwhelmed because
Yeah.
it was like everybody had a long like the people that was there, they were there before me. They were there like 5 o'clock this morning, 2 o'clock this morning. And everybody was like, even Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom, they were ready to go. Even she was
Hmm.
shaking her head at some of the stuff. She was like, "What?" She was
Yeah.
shaking her head at some of the evidence. She was like, "What?" Like when the sex worker got on, well, the dancer, he didn't portray himself like a sex worker. So he said he was just there. He said he didn't even care about Puffin and paying him. He said, but they paid him. It was okay. It was one. He said they were paying him. He said it was. He said I just happened to get paid for it, so it was fine. But he said if they didn't pay him, he was okay with it. And so
Hmm.
it was almost like that was a win for the defense. And
Okay, so go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. What were you saying?
So how long do you think that, because you got some trials that'll probably take maybe 2, 3 months, some trials take years. So how long you think this is going to play out?
The judge mentioned that today. He told the jury that expected to go past the 4th of July, but he's saying he hoping that they'll be done before the 4th of July, way before the 4th of July. He's
Okay.
hoping that because he's moving it along. The judge, he's very thorough, and the lawyers are very thorough either. They're moving it along too. They are. They
Mhm.
getting it done. They're not wasting time. The lawyer's not wasting time. Brian
Yeah.
still didn't
I,
waste
I
time.
think I think Diddy did good though with Brian Steele though.
Yeah, like with the way he was holding up in court and all that. He looked strong when he stood up in front of the jury. He looked strong. You know what this lady said? Oh my God. Like I feel so sorry for him. Like the testimony wasn't the only thing that was getting people was the hotel video. Because we saw the extended version. There's more than what y'all saw on TV. I guess y'all gonna see it now. Actually, I don't know what TMZ is doing, but the extended version just showing because the lawyer said, well, it was a time lapse video, right? It only records with motion, so there's time lapses in the video, but it wasn't. They're saying that she was mad. The reason why she was leaving, she wanted her phone and she wanted to leave. You know what I'm saying? But what they're saying, it was just him and her got into an argument. It wasn't because of the sex worker. It was because they got into an argument. And
Hmm.
but the video looked bad and people they reacted to it. But other than that, the testimony from the witnesses, people were laughing, yo. They were sitting up there laughing in court, yo. Yo,
Oh wow.
we was sitting up there laughing. We thought it was funny. We was like, yo, Puff. We was like Puff doing the most, yo. We was like he up here doing the most. Like he's on trial for doing the most. Like it was just crazy. He was like, well, Puff. Oh, we found out the baby oil. Reason why he had so much baby oil because he want people to be drenched in the shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because he said, well, you got to put a little bit more baby oil on. He wanted them to be soaking in baby oil. So I know people saying it was like drugs in the baby oil, but nah, he wanted them to be soaked in the baby oil, like dripping with the baby oil. And they said that he was in the second meeting with the guy. He said then Puff felt more comfortable with him, and he started directing him. And
Hmm.
Cassie like directed him too. And but guess what? There was a representative in the courtroom saying that Cassie did not want to testify, and she still don't. Even to this day, she still don't.
Well, see, I thought they said that the Cassie thing was over with anyway. Like whatever they had going on, he paid her. She was okay with it, and she moved on. Like I
Right,
thought they said
right,
they wasn't even
right,
going to use that part of it.
right, right. She moved on, but however, they made it a criminal case, and they said it wasn't her idea, like to make it a criminal case. She got her
Hmm.
money, she moved on, and that was it. And they saying that she didn't want this to be a criminal case. But now she had no other choice because I believe they had her down as like a confidential something. So she was made. I think they may have had something on her.
Subpoenaed her.
Yeah, they may have
Well,
had
okay,
something
man.
on her.
Hmm.
But all right.
I mean, and she do probably know a lot of stuff. Like I'm pretty sure she's witnessed, a lot of things. But my thing is, if she um was already paid off and she was fine with the payout, then it's like now it's like, anything she says shouldn't be held against him. Is I mean, that's the way I feel about it. But yeah,
Oh, man.
it's definitely interesting, and I'm gonna keep tuning in.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I had my audio was messed up. But yeah, they was just saying that they may have forced her to do it.
Yeah, I
But
think so.
her husband was sitting in back of me.
Yeah. It's another thing too that, she moved on pretty quick too, She got married
Yeah.
and everything after that. So,
Yeah, they both moved on. Yeah,
yeah.
they were saying that they both moved on after a
Hmm.
while. And then she came up to him and demanded like 20 some $1 million. And I think he said no. And then that's how all this got started. And then she filed a lawsuit and it turned criminal. And they said she didn't want it to turn criminal. Yeah, they said she didn't want it to turn criminal. Hey, how you doing? She didn't want it to turn criminal, but that's what they're saying that happened. And she never wanted this. And Mark Garagos, his attorney, his one of his people were him sitting in back of me. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Pretty good. Good. Yeah. Um, but he was sitting in back of me. She was sitting in back of me, and she said, "I saw the videos." She said, "The videos ain't bad. It ain't showing nothing." That's what she said. And she said, "The videos, y'all gonna see it." She said, "Y'all gonna see that ain't nothing happened." It's embarrassing, for Puff and her to relive it. But as far as
Yeah.
like, um, what they were making it seem like, they're saying it's not really like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see.
Well, Max, you doing good. I'm so proud of you. I was so glad to see you in front of the courthouse reporting,
Yeah.
and I'll be tuning in. I'm Sab Mart in the chat.
Okay. All right. I'll
Yeah.
be catching you.
Okay, Max.
All right.
Have
Thanks
a
for
good day.
joining. All right. Hold on one second. CC, you there?
I'm here, Max. How you doing?
All right. Yourself?
I'm doing good. You know what?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm happy you were there today because this seems like this is right up your alley and you are
Yeah.
perfect for doing this. So I'm happy you were there today. But I was listening to a few people talking about it who were there today and some who were not.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to I mean, I think one thing that stood out to me, two things,
Hmm.
is when they were in their opening arguments and they said this is about love, money, and blah blah blah. And I think that was I don't know if I agree with that because I mean, before they even started the case, I think the image that a lot of us had in our mind was him beating Cassie at the elevator. So for them to start off by saying this is about love, and I understand where they're coming from, but that's just not the impression I think that any of us have, because how can you love someone and you're beating them like that? So I was really surprised they started off with that. And then another thing was, as far as Brian Steele, they said that he was basically trying to pin the security guard by trying to insinuate why didn't he write things on the report that he saw as far as the guy that was in the room? on the bed, and the guy, he tried to pin the guy by saying, this was in a suite, and
Hold on. Oh, yeah.
how could you see inside the suite, to the bedroom when there's a couch there and blah blah blah, and the guy was like, well, that's why, because they had the couch out as the bed. And so that's when Brian Steele said no more questions. So I think Brian Steele was, they from what they said, that he was trying to pin this guy into saying something so he can maybe come back later and hold it against him. But the officer slash the ex security guard
Right.
kind of held his own. So I was wondering what you thought about
Okay.
Brian's line of questioning at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did catch some inconsistencies
Mhm.
because he just when he was saying how he held Puff back against the wall, he really just like grabbed his hand.
Mhm.
That's what he did. He didn't hold his. It didn't show it on video what he did, and,
Okay.
and he kind of caught him out on that. But yeah, like you're right, he might be trying to set it up for something down the line.
Mhm. Mhm.
But Brian still did a really good job.
Yeah, I'm sure he did, because he
I
seems
saw
like a
him.
really
I saw
great.
him in the. I saw Brian still. Where did I see him at? I saw him. I saw him outside,
Mhm.
and I saw the last lawyer to do the line of question, the brother. I saw him in the hallway during the
Okay.
break. Yeah, he was talking to. He was like talking to people.
Oh, okay.
Like he was just saying hello, and he was walking by, and people were like trying to get his attention, but he was locked in. You could tell
Okay.
by his eyes he was like zoned out.
Mhm.
I
And I
saw
guess
Kenny
I get
Garagos.
and I guess in that little bitty segment of questioning where they said Brian Steele was asking him about the guy in the room, and he was trying to basically insinuate that, okay, they had the penthouse, and then the security guard was like, no, it wasn't the penthouse, because, okay, what penthouse is on the sixth floor? And in my mind I was thinking Diddy was probably under so many drugs. I wonder if a lot of things that he's telling his attorneys is actually consistent with what people who were not on as many drugs as he was on, what they remember. You see what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
what one of his defenses was. Like
yeah.
he was impaired,
Mhm.
and he was impaired and stuff. But yeah, we'll see. This was the first day. They only had two
Yeah.
witnesses today, and
Yeah.
They saying Cassie is supposed to be tomorrow. So because they said she'd do any day now, so they got to hurry up and get it over with. So she's supposed to be, and then also it's supposed to be another alleged victim, and I'm only speculating on who it is because she's under a pseudonym right now.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking another famous person has a baby by her, and that might be
Okay.
her, but I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to wait and see.
Okay.
I don't want to say
Okay.
it until I'm sure, until I actually see her, because
Right.
she's on her way. She coming,
Okay.
and
Now, I think I missed, Max, are you in the courtroom, or were you outside the courtroom, or
no,
what's the setup for you?
I was inside the courtroom. They had an overflow room.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but tomorrow after lunchtime, I'm gonna get in
Hmm.
the courtroom with Diddy.
Okay.
But they had a closed circuit TV,
Okay. So you can
so
see
we saw that
everything.
we saw the exhibits and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw
Okay.
the exhibits. We saw yeah, we saw everything. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like I was in the courtroom with him.
Mm-hmm.
I saw his facial expressions, everything.
Wow. And what do
Um,
you think? My last question, Max, before I let you go, and before I let you go, I pray that this is something that's going to kick off a career for you that you won't, you know what I'm saying? That I trust and believe that something great is going to come out of this for you. But I'm wondering, like, what was Diddy's demeanor?
yeah,
Like, was he like, do you think he was humble? Do you think he was still cocky? Like, what was his demeanor during the testimony today?
yeah, Rachel. Every courtroom had a TV in it. We saw the exhibits and everything. His demeanor, he was upbeat. He was talking to Brian Steele and Tenny Garagos was sitting there. So he was talking, he was active. But it was powerful when she was giving her opening statement. She said, "I want to introduce you to Sean Combs," and she looked back, like that's her boy. She like, "Yeah, come on," and he stood up. He stood up, man. She looked at him. He stood up, and if you couldn't hear a pin drop, everybody was frozen when he stood up.
Mm-hmm.
This dude got some type of power to him, yo. He got some type of power to him. Everybody froze, and they were just watching him. And he looked humble. He looked scared and confident at the same time. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
explain it,
Mm-hmm.
but trust me, everybody stopped what they were saying. You could hear a pin drop,
Wow.
and he was staring right at the jury as she was talking. She said, and you know what she said? She was like, "Yeah, he guilty of domestic violence all day long. Yeah." And she said there was violence on both ends, and she said that he regretted. And but this wasn't that. There wasn't no sex trafficking. He said there's something he liked to do, and they participated. And yeah, she said we can't take back that video. That video looks bad. She said it.
Mm-hmm.
She said, but he didn't do that. She said he didn't do that, and he sat down, and everybody kind of like they sat down with him. That's what it seemed like.
Right.
And then one lady went back and she said, "Oh my God, I feel so sorry for him."
Who was that lady? Who was that lady that said that?
I forget I forget some white lady. She was like, "Oh my
Okay.
God." She's a part of the press.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, she's a member of the press. She was like, "Oh my God, I feel so sorry for him." She said, "This ain't right." And like when he stood up, everybody was kind of like in attention because he everybody been talking about him for so long. And to finally see him, that's why everybody was, because somebody was sitting next to me, like, "Where is he?" I said, "There he is with the gray hair." Oh my God, yep, I see the gray hair. That gray
Mm-hmm.
hair is like it's glowing.
Wow.
It's like his hair is glowing.
Mm-hmm.
It stands out so much. It's glowing. You said, "How are the line holders doing?" Listen, the line holders is something of legend. They got that line on lock. Like I'm gonna look in the morning. I'm gonna be back in the overflow room, but after lunch, I know how to get in the room with Diddy. I almost got in. I was only two people away from getting in the room with Diddy, just two people. But then he was like, "Nah, you got to go to the 26th floor now."
Mm.
Yep, that's what he told me.
You almost made it.
I almost made it. After
Mm-hmm.
lunchtime, I was within two people, and it was this dude in front of me. He was beefing with the security. He said, "Why do you guys always do this to me? You guys got it out for me." They was like, "Man, we ain't got it out for you, man." The security was mad laid back. He was like, "Man, we ain't got it out for you, man." All the security people, they all retired police officers.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Man, we just doing this to supplement. We ain't beefing with you, man." They were real laid back. They gave us, we had to check our phones in, but they wouldn't allow the phones. But only certain people of the media could have their phones. If you had a
Right.
media pass, you can have your phone. And there was a lot of YouTubers that had media passes. Yep. Um, Not all of them, but some. Like it was this guy Armand Wiggins. He camped out last night, so he actually got in, but some people didn't. And I heard it was like some tension online because one of these line holders is holding 8 spots for people. She was in line for 8 people, and the people just got out the car and showed up and ditched everybody. So people were kind of feeling a certain type of way. But the line holders is what it is. They're out there now. They're gonna be out there all night. They got tents and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, they got tents and elaborate tent setup and everything.
Wow. Well, thank you
Thanks,
so
Steve.
much, Max. I'm gonna drop back
All right,
down to the chat. Thank you so much for
all right,
answering all my
CC.
questions, and I
I'll be on
appreciate it.
tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow, and
And I've been
tomorrow will be a
hanging
little
with you
better.
since Daryl. I have been hanging with you since Daryl Brooks. I have
Oh,
been
I
a fan
remember
of
that.
yours.
Yeah,
Yes,
Daryl Brooks.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. Well, thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
take
you.
care.
Okay.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
bye. Yeah, Armand. Listen, Armand was camped out. J Boss. You remember last night when I said I was gonna camp out? That's where Armand was. He was out. He wasn't playing, yo. He was outside. He was literally outside, yo. Yo, people got tents. This one lady, she got a nice like comfortable chair. Everybody walking by, she out there smoking weed. They smoking weed and everything, yo. All you smell is weed. It was crazy. Um, it's too late for me to get a media pass. I ain't even worried about it. It's too late. I mean, I could, but it's too late. I saw Jaguar Wright. Right when you guys told me that Jaguar Wright was out there, I ran into her. She was out there, and Little Rod was out there, but I didn't talk to him though. I walked right past her. Right past her, yo. Jaguar. Shout out to Jaguar, man. She was there. I know I should get a blow up bed to sit out there, y'all. A straight blow up bed. Let me take this time real quick. Thank you, Steve, for the donation. Thank you, Steve, for the donation. Thank you, Chantel, for the donation. Where is Chantel? Shout out to Chantel. Um, Shout out to everybody that donated, man. I appreciate y'all. I don't even know if Chantel if she's still in here, but shout out to her. See Steve in here, and that's going towards the parking fees tomorrow. Um, Parking fees and breakfast or something. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, and they kind of breezed past that because the audience was like kind of creepy over that. Like yeah, and she choked and stuff like that. Oh, I have my cash app in the description, J Boss, or cash app. It's all good. Yo, Jaguar, dude, man, Jaguar was out there, dog. Jaguar, dude, this person had like a nice, comfortable chair in a tent. She looked mad comfortable, man. Everybody walking by, she just chilling. She line holding. She got like 8 clients or something like that, $40 an hour, yo. She making bank out there. Because the media is doing it. It's the media that's paying her. And it's international media that's paying her. Oh, I appreciate you, Jay Boss. I appreciate you. Tomorrow is going to be even better because, like I said, I'm out here for the duration. So tomorrow is going to be even better. Um, I'm gonna get everything down and stuff like that. It's just gonna be like going to work every day, and you start to see the same people. And everybody was friendly. We was all talking to each other, sharing ideas, and that was cool. I remember the young lady that I shared her video. I said she was very. I saw her. I was sitting in the same. I was sitting right near her. Yep, she was in there. Hey Ryan, remember the video with the young lady that shared a detailed court thing of Puff? I saw her. I was sitting right next to her. She, I was sitting right. I think she had line. Let me see. She has media credentials. So she was in the media because we had 2 lines. We had one for the press and one for the regular people. And they only let in each line. They only let like 6 up in the elevator at a time after lunch. Ryan. I was almost right there to get into where Puff was at. I was almost there. Dude, he's commanding so much attention. People just want to be right near him. He commanded so much attention, man. He feeling it too. He feels it because they said he looked better. He's feeling it. He feeling like people rocking with him, and he can feel it because he kept looking back. His family was sitting in back of him. Yeah, his family was sitting in back of him. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see some stuff that Tenny Garagos walked past me. She was zoned out. You could tell she just had a long day. You could tell. She was well put together though. Well put together. I'm talking about the suit and everything. Them lawyers are put together, man. But the suits and everything, they not playing. She not playing, yo. She definitely not playing. I'm gonna get in after lunch, Ryan. After lunch. After lunchtime, I'm gonna get in. For sure. I'm gonna bring some food with me in my bag. He has an opportunity to beat the case, Philly. Yeah, he do. Well, don't get me wrong, we just in the first day. So we're gonna have to see. Yeah, she just so like I said, Brian Steele, he's outside. Um One of his other lawyers was in the hallway. I saw it, Ryan, I saw his son. He was out in the hallway, like, on the ground level, like just chilling and whatnot. And during the break, he was just chilling. I didn't see the other family though. I only saw Christian and one of the twins at that time. But maybe the other twin was there, but I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, a lot of people reporting that she really didn't want to testify. Hey, thank you, James. Thank you for the donation. If you're listening, thank you. Hold on, let me see something. Is somebody trying to get on? Hold on one second, y'all. Oh no, no. Oh, they were, yeah, Yasmin. I ain't even lying to y'all, man. I only saw Christian and one of the twins. I didn't see them all. Oh, check this out. You remember when I was live in front of the courthouse? Why did they walk in back of me? I didn't see him, yo. People was like, Max, they in back of you. They right in back of you. And I looked, they were gone. I'm sitting out there bumping my gums. That the family walked right past me, yo. No, you don't need a real ID to get in, because you do need a real ID to get in like federal buildings, but for trials, no. It's good to have one, but no, you don't need one for that. It's good to have though. Like if you're gonna try to take a plane here, yeah, you need a real ID. But what they're doing is they're giving an extension to people. That's what they were saying at Atlanta's airport. Yeah, I think you said they want to embarrass him, because that's what people were saying. Yo, check this out, y'all. I am not bullshitting y'all. Every People were laughing at the testimony. Yo, I felt bad at first because I was laughing, right? And I'm thinking people gonna be looking at me like, "Oh man, what you laughing at, man? Why you laughing at this shit?" Yo, Gloria Allred was laughing, yo. Her Lisa Bloom was like, everybody was laughing, yo. They were laughing, yo. Look, he said it was a point where he said him and Cassie was making out because she never liked to kiss. So he had a moment. He didn't think Puff was around. He thought he had Cassie by herself, right? And they were making out. And they were almost getting ready to. And here come Puff. He said he just out of nowhere. He was off in the corner, just peeping, like a peeping tom. Like he was off in the corner. It was like creepy. And then Puff, he's like, he was scared, like, oh shit, like we just got caught, right? And Puff went up to him, I like that. I like that. He said, I like how y'all connected. I like that. He liked it. But then the dude couldn't perform because he didn't want to perform around Puff no more. See, he wanted Cassie for himself, yo. Because he said he used to hit her up, text her to make sure she all right and all that. And then he said he texts her raunchy stuff just so that she can respond. But she never responded. And you know what he texted her? I want to F you again. He wasn't asking if she was all right. He really wanted to do that. He wasn't asking if she was all right. So I didn't believe him there. But yeah, Puff was off to the side, like like off to the. He ain't even see Puff. Puff just out of nowhere. He said he don't know where he came. He just out of nowhere in the corner. He said, I like that. I like that. And then he started directing. He wanted to be a director at this point. And then he wanted them to act like they met each other at a airport. Yo, everybody started laughing. I think the jury was laughing too. Bro, everybody in the courtroom was laughing, yo. This some bullshit, yo. They was like, Puff wanted them to act like they met in a airport. But he said his acting was so horrible, Puff didn't want to do it no more. He said, Puff, he wanted them to act like they just met at an airport. And yeah. And Puff, when he first met Puff, he didn't know it was Puff at first. He had a bandana on, yo. He had a robe on with a bandana, like trying to hide his identity, but he couldn't. As soon as he started talking, the dude knew immediately who it was. Dude, I'm not making this up, yo. I'm not making this up, man. I'm literally not making. People were in there laughing, yo. I'm not making it up. They were in there laughing, yo. It was laughter. People started laughing. Okay? They started laughing. And Puff was just like, yo, we were all giving him props, was just sitting there taking that shit, yo. He was just like, fuck. Like it was just he said, yeah, he wanted us to act like we just met in the airport. But he said the acting was so horrible. He said I didn't do such a good job. They just nixed it. And then he said it was a point where they said, have you ever peed on somebody before? And he said no. So he said, well, can you do it? Are you okay with doing that? She said, are you okay with doing it? He said, okay, I guess so. So then he started peeing. Then Puff said, whoa, 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 what are you doing? She stopped. She said, what are you doing? He was like, what, you want me to pee? She said, they said, you ain't doing it right. And everybody just bust out, started laughing, yo. What the fuck? They just, but he said, no, no, no. He said, Puff said, no, no, you're not doing it right. You have to do it slowly. Yo, everybody, we lost it, yo. Everybody was laughing. Everybody was laughing, yo. I couldn't believe. And look, I thought because I was laughing at the shit that like people gonna judge me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was laughing. He said, "You ain't doing it right. You gotta do it slow in slow increments." Oh my God, yo. Yeah, P Diddy. And what happened? It was another time. He said he couldn't do it no more because him and Cassie had an argument. He said during the middle of it, they just started beefing with each other. And they went in the other room, they had a fight, and then they came out. Here go Diddy. Well, I guess we about to start we about to start, and he couldn't do it, you know, because like damn, after what happened. So then he left. And he really didn't do it no more after that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just over with. So, and he said the reason for all the baby oil. He said one day he had to go to the store on the way to the hotel. She just told him to come up the stairs because he always worked through Cassie. He didn't work through Puff. He worked through Cassie. Cassie was like, yeah, just come upstairs. You ain't got to check in at the front desk. Just come on up. They and then they said he was referred to the hotel. Like if somebody asks who you are, just say your name, Black. So she said, can you know you got to go to the store and get some baby oil. He had to go get some baby oil because they ran out. And Puff liked them to be drenched in baby oil. One bottle ain't enough. You got to be drenched in it. It's just something with him with this baby oil, man. You said, what was it like being on the elevator with Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom? Both of them was on the elevator with me. Gloria Allred, she was chilling. She was talking to everybody. We were chilling. We was all talking about the case. She was just chilling. Um, her daughter's real cool. She was sitting in front of me in court, and there was another guy sitting next to her, but I don't know who that is. He's somebody, but I don't know who it is. He was sitting right in, and he was talking to me. I don't know who it is. And here's the crazy part. So when I sat down, everybody kind of looked back at me. Cause see, I kind of got in court late, and I went in the overflow room. So I sit down. I'm thinking all eyes on me because everybody looked, and they kept looking back. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked back. I saw this dude. He just kind of smiled at me, and I looked. I was like, oh, "Okay." That was Cassie's husband that they were looking at, and they were taking notes. And then I believe his sister was. I believe somebody said it was his sister. I don't know. I can't remember. She kind of walked by and just kind of like looked at me. I'm like, I guess because she had to wait online. I'm not sure. Some of his people had to wait online. I found that out. But yeah, so yeah, that's what happened. Um, I didn't know it was him until somebody told me. It was like he was sitting right in back of you. That was him. I was like, oh shoot, yeah, okay. Now that I've seen this picture before, but I'm not really in people's face like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he said Puff came out of nowhere. You said call and getting greased down. They said he poured. He wanted. She said ain't enough baby oil. Put more on. It was. It had to be drenched in it. Okay. Yeah. So he had to be drenched in it, and so that was crazy. What else happened? Yeah, he just came. That story he Puff just came out of nowhere. He said me and her. He said he thinking her and him and Cassie having a moment. He said because during the event she don't like to kiss, and they kissed. She kissed at that moment. They shared a moment. Here come Puff, like he just out of nowhere. He was just in the corner, like looking at him, and then he's like, "I like that." He said, "I like it. Y'all connecting. I like it." Yeah, she said they said drenched. You gotta have all the baby oil. He said Max ain't used to the overflow room. Yeah, I went in the overflow, man. They had a TV up in there, so it was all good. But anyway, that's part. This is part two. I'll come back eventually. But tomorrow to be a little bit more comprehensive, man. I'm gonna get out there early. But I'm spent right now. I'm spent. But I'm trying to see if there was something else. They were just claiming that he made money through Bad Boy Entertainment, all for the purposes of starting this. He using the money to do freak offs, and crossing state lines and stuff like that. So, and he used his bodyguards and people that work for him to help him out. So that's part of the conspiracy, the racketeering. They didn't get into the firebombing and all that stuff. They didn't get into that yet. But there was a lot of there was more it was some more celebrities outside, but I didn't know who they were. Hold on one second. Yeah, my mother wanting to know the tea, man. I got the Lipton's tea, the iced tea, all that. It's gonna be all that tomorrow when she get on that stand. I made a mistake and photobomb somebody. She was like a foreign reporter, and I like photobombed about. I mean, like, what do you call that when you walk back past their recording? Look, I walked in right at opening state. Like, no, I got in before opening statements, but everything was already finalized with the jury. Here I come. You know, I was the last person online too, so everybody already got in already. Here I come. And look, I couldn't find a seat at first. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm all walking around, people staring at me. I couldn't even find a seat. My big ass. I couldn't even find a seat. I know people like, I don't want him sitting next to me, man. His big ass, yo. Because I got my shoulders are broad. I take up a little bit of space. Not that I'm like obese, but I just take up a lot of space. So look, everybody paying attention here. I'm walking around. So finally, I found a seat. These two people I was sitting there, everybody was cool in there though. Everybody was cool. Yeah, I'm changing vibrations up in there, man. Yeah, I heard his story. Tory Lanez almost died. He in critical condition, right? It's because of that case he got, man. Them charges. They don't play with them charges up in there. Dude, I was late. Yo, hold up. When I went live, people's like, bro, you in traffic? Dude, I was in traffic and I had to walk to the venue because I passed it on the way. I said, guys, there go the reporters right there. But I had to go park up. And by the time I got there, everybody inside already. So people are waiting online, but I'm the last online, right? And I get in there. Puff and his kid, they had already walked past before me. They had already been in there. I thought I was going in Puff's room. So I kind of inched the door open because the door was closed. I said, yo, is this Puff's room? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm just gonna open the door and just like interrupt everybody, right? So I kind of inched the door open, and then the door just snatched open because the guard was right there. I was like, oh. He said, yeah, come on in. And then I was like, oh, this is the overflow room. I just kind of looked. I was like, all right. No, I didn't wake up late, Ryan. I woke up early. But I was like, nah, ain't no sense of me camping out because I heard that it's like mad, like line holders. But tomorrow I have to go in early because it's better to leave at 5 a.m. because you don't have no traffic. And it's a lot more pleasant drive with no traffic. And I can just chill when I'm in New York, just kind of, um, just kind of take it easy. I'm in the car anyway. I can just like chill and whatnot, land back, park up somewhere, and then when it's time for us to walk in, I just go park up. Or I could just be out there messing with the press because the press is out there. Yeah, they got a few overflow rooms. They got more than two. They got more. They got about three or four. It was a lot of people there, man. It was a lot of people. Yeah, so it was a lot of people there. We all gonna get to know each other because we were all just sitting there kicking. I was sitting there kicking it with Gloria Allred, man. Just sitting there kicking it with her and her daughter. Her daughter was sitting right in back of her. And there was a lady girl that worked for TMZ. TMZ, CNN was sitting in front of me. They were all when I came in. They just like they like looked back at. I was like, damn, yo, ain't no way to sit. And look, I walked up down the pews. I was like, yo, it ain't nowhere to sit, yo. Like, where am I supposed to sit? You know what I'm saying? Because the people like, here he come. Like, I had my notebook. I was ready to go, man. I said, what did I miss? And then I looked at the monitor. I said, okay, we got the monitor, and I see Puff. I immediately see him. He was the only thing that stuck out because of that gray hair. His hair is more stick out more than Brian Steele's. So, and I finally got a seat in the back, and so that lasted until lunchtime. So the judge said, "I'm giving y'all 30 minutes." So that wasn't enough time for people to just go chill. And then I went downstairs, and because they told us we couldn't hang in the hallways by the courtroom, we got to all go downstairs and wait online again. And that's when I saw a Christian. Yep, I saw a Christian and his sister. So I saw them. But at this point, look, I'm trying to figure out a way to get in that room. I'm walking right past. I'm like, yo, watch out, my bad. I'm trying to get on that elevator. I said, okay, everybody down here, right? So my thing was, I'm trying to find out what floor he on so I can get in the room. But they had the doors locked. So there was no way. There was no way you were gonna get in there. You had to go back down and wait online. So they had it. They had the real good structure, a real good setup. But they said they haven't seen this type of drama at the courthouse in years. So he causing all the drama. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. You got reporters from. I mean, it's all across the street, everywhere. They everywhere. So Justin mother was there, but I didn't see her. Yeah, somebody told me to say Max Justin mother was there, but I didn't see her. I didn't even see Justin either. I didn't see. I told you they all walked past me. I didn't see him because when I was live, they all walking right past me. I missed Tenny. Garrett almost missed her. She walked right past. She was coming down the stairs, and I'm live and whatnot. And she kind of looked at me because I pointed the phone. She kind of like, you know how people in New York is side eye you. That's what she did. She tall. She mad tall, yo. She tall too. But tomorrow I'm gonna be back out there bright and early, and yeah, bright and early. I don't know if she was using a walker. I didn't see her. She probably had surgery or something, but I didn't see her though. People told me because that's when they were out waiting online. They said, Justin mother is here. I'm like, really? I didn't see it. They said, yeah, she here. I had got there mad late, so I missed them all. But yeah, they said she was there. Misa, her name, yeah, Misa. Um, but I know if you like Tisa, she was there and she was writing a lot. Everybody was writing detailed notes, so everybody got something out of it. Um, who else? Who else did I see there? I mean, just about. There was a lot of YouTube. It was a lot of people there. Some people I didn't even know. They have real huge channels. I didn't even know them. It was the one lady who was sitting next to me. It was a real famous girl. I forget. I don't know her name. I forget her name again. Yeah, she was in the front. Um, but tomorrow I'll probably see them all after lunch. I'm pretty sure of it. You said the family ride together in a black Mercedes. Yeah, I missed that too because when I was live, Yasmin, they walked right past me, and then everybody was running with their cell phone. I'm like, what's? I ain't want to do it. I said I'll catch them tomorrow, man. Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow, and we're gonna do it again tomorrow. All right, y'all. Oh, Chantel, thank you for the donation, Chantel. I just happened to see you here. I missed you. I missed you doing it earlier, but I caught you on here. So thank you for the donation. Um, I just happened to see you, Chantel. Yeah, it is a good networking opportunity because I'm sitting there. It's CNN there. There was a reporter from Fox News. I was standing right next to her online. Um, I mean, just name a network. All of them was there, yo. And oh, I'm getting interviewed tomorrow. I'm getting interviewed tomorrow for some news. I'll be on the news tomorrow. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna be on the news tomorrow, and we're gonna see what's happening. So that's happening right there. Yeah. Okay. There's two ways to get out that building. When I was leaving for the day, I went out on the side the family went out on. I didn't even know the door was open. I just walked right through that piece. The door was open, yeah. I walked right through there. So I'm going out the back way. I forget what news station, but she said she want to interview us tomorrow on what we seeing up in there. So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. So I'll see you tomorrow because I met her. All right. So look for me tomorrow. I'll let you know where it's gonna be at. All right. So yeah, I was like, yeah, because we was sharing my you like, yeah, I YouTube, I do this and that, or because people were adding me and stuff. So that was we were adding each other, so that was all good. And I met somebody from Hot 97. I was sitting right next to him when I first got in court. He worked for Hot 97. If you go on my Instagram, I did an interview with him. So he was out there. Let me see. Every representative was out there. Everybody had a representative out there. Everybody. TMZ, of course. He had his people in the building. Um, that guy that be on TMZ, like the legal analyst, he was there. I saw him online. He got in. He actually got in the room with Puff at lunchtime. I didn't. I almost made it. Almost made it just by one person. Um, but yeah, get some exposure. Um, but everybody was tired because everybody kept looking back at the clock. Because we didn't have our phones. Like some people didn't have their phones, so we kept looking back at the clock to see when it's gonna be over. Because everybody was spent. Butts was hurting because them benches ain't nothing to play with. I'm just telling y'all that. No, not Harvey. It's another guy. Harvey wasn't there, but his people were though. His people were there because I was sitting online with him. Fox News, CNN was there. The news anchor. I didn't see Anderson Cooper out there. Maybe he was out there, but it was somebody else from CNN out there though. I think reporting on it. Um, yeah. See, Ryan, it was easy to get in at lunchtime, but I messed up. And I peeped it. I said, "Yo, everybody rushing out to lunch, and the line is for I'm right here. Why can't I just get on? I should have just got online. I don't know what I was doing, yo. I was looking at the views and stuff. Like I went back upstairs to look at the views from the top floor when I should have been online. Because if I would have been online, I would have been there with the family. Yep, I would have been right in there, man. But yeah, Puff, he looks just how he normally looks, but just with gray hair. That's it. He don't look sick. He don't look skinny. He don't look extra fat. He just look regular. It's like, um, he don't look old. It's just that he got the gray hair. That's what it looks like. It looked like he did it on purpose, but he didn't. He just got white hair, man. A head full of white hair. But it's being rumored that Cassie didn't want to testify and still don't. That's a rumor, but I heard people talking about it. I didn't hear nothing about Gina today in the opening statements. They didn't mention her. They mentioned Jane, Cassie, Jane, Mia, and let me see, Cassie, Jane, Mia, and then that's it. Wait, Cassie, Jane, Mia. Um, yeah, that was pretty much it. That was there. Yeah, she's known as Jane. That's why they call her Jane. She's known as Jane, though. They said he had a Bible. Puff did. I didn't see that. Yeah, the pictures that they drawing is just like an illustration of him, but that's not really. It's nothing wrong with him. Yeah, I was trying to think of something else. Oh, he had a Bible. I didn't see it because I wasn't in the room with him. Yeah, there were a lot of objections. His lawyer kept objecting on certain points. The brother was objecting, man. Yeah, he was objecting. I don't think he won many of his objections though. He won a few, not many. Oh, he had to get back on the road. Cassie being pregnant during this time is stressful for her, and it makes her understand her not wanting to testify. No, they said she didn't want to testify even in the beginning. But maybe now because of what's going on, I'm not sure. But it's the right rumors. I know people were talking about it. No, Jose not on the fence, Ryan. Somebody said they gave him the wrong information, but he talked about it today. So, so yeah, man. I've been talking for a minute now. I've been on for like 2 hours, almost 3 hours now. You got to go back. Were there any unexpected moments or twists? Yeah, people were in there laughing. I was surprised. People were laughing during the dude's testimony, man. When he said, yeah, he liked the baby, or when Tenny was like, he likes his baby oil, he's in love with baby oil. Is that a crime? People started laughing. He loved his baby oil. Is that a crime? Yep. People started rolling. He said he loved his baby oil. I think they were laughing in his courtroom too. It's crazy. By the opening statements, I can't call it. I can't say they got him dead to rights. I say it can go either way, Ryan. All right. I give him more than a 50% chance. It's edging 50. I'll say 55, 60. Or it's debatable. You can say 50-50. I won't. But do they got like right now they just laying out some of the things. They're not telling us everything right now, right? So you gotta be fair. They haven't showed all the evidence yet. So that's the only way I can look at it. They haven't maybe there's a lot more going on, but it could be different people, it still got a long way to go, put it that way. Yeah, they said they are going to show it, old boy. They are. Yeah, Cassie is supposed to. I think she's going to come on tomorrow. So look for that. And I think she'll get through it. She'll get through it. At this point, like, let's get it going. Let's just get it over with. Her husband was sitting in back of me today, old boy. Yeah, you said what were they discussing outside the courtroom? Who was discussing? Just random people about the trial. They were just talking about the evidence. Like, is he guilty or innocent? Like based upon. They weren't talking. They were just talking about random things and stuff. You know. Yeah. So it was just unusual. Like people really was trying to gravitate to his courtroom. They really were. They really was gravitating. Like, I hope I get in. I hope I get in. I hope I get in. Um, I was like, no, the overflow room is just as good because they got the TV, but it don't hit the same though. People want to see him live in the flesh. Yeah, they want to see him live in his flesh, man. But the judge was really good. Um, yeah, so we'll see. Was all the family in it? Yeah, but I didn't see them. And they, if on my live chat, oh boy, they walked right past me. I didn't even know it. They all walked right past me. Somebody from his entourage looked in my direction, but I mean when they were in the hallway. But other than that, I didn't see any of them. Yeah, so no, I'm gonna get in the main room tomorrow. So, because there's a line, like even after lunch, if they kick you all out the courtroom, they form another line for you to go through that line to get back in. I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I thought you could just sit in the courtroom, you know. Um, yeah, man, that's about it. Um, Definitely gonna come back tomorrow with a part three. But I appreciate you guys listening, and I'll be up bright and early tomorrow. Watch out for that live. So I'll be up bright and early. All right, y'all.